Foul, and I'm glad it's coming from the commentators because a lot of people think that Caitlin's just out here flopping, just out here doing nonsense.
To see Caitlin Clark play ball. And some of these ticket prices for these games against the Sky and the Wings.
Just in, Larry Bird, the legendary Boston Celtics icon and one of the most respected voices in basketball history, has finally broken his silence on the Caitlin Clark-WNBA controversy, and he didn't hold back. In a moment that stunned fans and analysts alike, Bird took direct aim at the league's leadership, its players, and its treatment of its newest star. And in a statement that's already echoing through sports media, he made one of the boldest suggestions yet. Caitlin Clark deserves her own WNBA franchise. Quick favor before we move on. If you appreciate this content, consider giving this video a like and subscribing to the channel. Believe it or not, more than 83% of viewers haven't subscribed yet. It's free and only takes a second, but it means the world to us. So, did you subscribe already? Great, thank you so much for your support. Now back to the video. For months, debate has raged across the basketball world about the challenges Clark has faced since entering the league. From hard fouls and questionable officiating to exclusion from Team USA and a frosty reception by some veteran players, many fans feel Clark has become the target of a campaign to humble her.
At some point, you do have to protect these players, all right? I get it, you want it to be gritty and all that, but fam, there was a lot of slapping and holding up in there.
But until now, few major NBA legends had weighed in with this level of firepower. Larry Bird's voice changes that. Caitlin Clark is the best thing to happen to women's basketball in decades, Bird said during an interview that's already gone viral. And the way the league is handling her is embarrassing. If the WNBA can't figure out how to support her, then maybe she needs her own team. Give her a franchise, build it around her, and watch the whole league rise. Bird didn't mince words. He said what many fans have been thinking, that the WNBA has failed to protect and promote one of its biggest draws. That instead of using Clark as a bridge to a broader audience, it has allowed her to become a lightning rod for resentment, and that the league's silence in the face of repeated physical attacks sends the wrong message, not just to Clark, but to every potential new fan.
Yeah, I would like for her to just play through it sometimes, but I get it too because she's getting slapped, she's getting held, and those are the things that injured her.
They've got this once-in-a-generation player, someone who sells out every arena, boosts ratings, gets kids excited about the game again, and they're acting like she's just another rookie. That's insane, Bird said. She's not just playing basketball, she's changing the conversation, and instead of embracing that, the league seems scared of it. Bird's comments didn't come out of nowhere. As an Indiana legend, he's been quietly watching Clark's rise for years. From her record-breaking college career to her meteoric leap into the pros, Bird has been one of her most vocal private supporters. But he finally decided to go public after what he called a disgraceful week for the WNBA. It wasn't one moment, it was everything. The flagrant fouls, the late hits, the officials letting it slide. And worst of all, the silence from the top, Bird explained.
Foul, and I'm glad it's coming from the commentators because a lot of people think that Caitlin's just out here flopping, just out here doing nonsense.
That's what got me. You've got a player getting assaulted on national television and not a single strong statement from the league. Are you kidding me? Indeed, Bird's comments come just days after Clark was once again the subject of a brutal cheap shot on the court, an incident that many fans saw as a deliberate attempt to injure her. While the WNBA issued a quiet post-game review and a minor penalty, there was no major press conference, no league-wide memo, no public show of support for Clark. And for Bird, That was the last straw. Can you imagine if someone pulled that on Magic or Jordan back in the day? Bird asked. The league would have come down like a hammer. That's how you protect your stars. That's how you build a league. You don't let your top talent get bullied just because she's too popular too fast.
Originally, I was a little bit surprised at what just happened, and then I was surprised that the officials did not go to the monitor to review it because obviously it was a flagrant one.
What Bird is tapping into is bigger than just basketball. It's about power, visibility, and what it takes to make women's sports truly mainstream. Caitlin Clark isn't just an athlete. She's a brand, a movement, a media juggernaut. She's selling more jerseys than most NBA players. She's drawing viewers who've never watched a WNBA game before. She's making people care. And according to Bird, that makes her the most valuable asset the league has ever had. She's done more for this league in 6 months than some execs have done in 20 years, he said bluntly. That's not a knock on the past. That's just reality. Caitlin is the future. Treat her like it. Bird's suggestion that Clark should be the face of her own franchise isn't just symbolic. It's a daring blueprint for how to capitalize on the moment. Rather than forcing Clark to fit into a league culture that sometimes seems hostile to her presence, Bird says the WNBA should build something entirely new. A team shaped around her style, her story, her strengths. A team that celebrates her impact rather than downplaying it.
Yeah, I know Caitlin Clark plays a certain type of way. You want to build a team around your superstar player. That is not the case for this team.
Start fresh. Call it the Indianapolis Legends, the Caitlin Clark All-Stars, whatever you want. Put her at the center. Give her the best coaches, best trainers, best support. Let her shine. Because if she shines, everyone else will too. The reaction to Bird's comments has been seismic. On social media, fans erupted with support. Hashtags like Clark Franchise and Larry Sade. It began trending within hours. Some are even calling for a fan-funded petition to pressure the league into action. Others are demanding that Kathy Engelbert, the WNBA commissioner, address Bird's remarks directly. But not everyone is thrilled. Behind the scenes, several veteran WNBA players reportedly bristled at Bird's framing, arguing that the league has long supported women's basketball and that Clark isn't the first player to draw crowds or change the game.
Game up, of course. Quote, from a basketball perspective, we have to make sure we help her diversify her defining ability.
Some saw Bird's proposal as dismissive of the history and contributions of legends like Lisa Leslie, Diana Taurasi, and Tamika Catchings. Bird, however, anticipated the backlash. This isn't about disrespecting the past, he said. It's about recognizing the present. I've got nothing but respect for the players who built this league. But when you get a chance like this, you don't waste it. Bird's bluntness is part of what makes his voice so powerful. He doesn't do media tours. He rarely comments on anything outside of Celtics basketball. So when he speaks, especially this publicly, it means something. And for him to go this hard for Clark signals just how much he believes in her potential.
To see Caitlin Clark play ball. And some of these ticket prices for these games against the Sky and the Wings.
She's got the game. She's got the poise. She's got the heart. But most of all, she's got that thing you can't teach. The ability to make people care. You don't get that every decade. Sometimes you only get it once. And when it shows up, you do everything you can to nurture it.
Think about that a minute. She's a rookie, led the league in assists and three-pointers made.
Bird also warned that mishandling Clark could have long-term consequences for the league. He pointed to declining trust in league leadership, fan frustration with officiating, and missed marketing opportunities as signs that the WNBA is squandering its biggest chance for breakout success. "This league should be everywhere right now," he said, "and Clark is the reason. So why are they treating her like a problem to manage instead of a gift to celebrate?"
Who don't like Caitlin Clark start saying, "Oh man, all she do is yell at the ref. She's complaining."
Interestingly, Bird's comments come at a time when multiple reports suggest that media interest in Clark continues to soar, even as on-court tensions rise. ESPN has reported record-breaking viewership for Fever games. Brands are lining up for endorsement deals. Even casual fans are tuning in to see what Clark will do next. And yet the headlines too often focus on elbows, cheap shots, and veteran resentment. Some insiders say Bird's words could force a turning point. One longtime analyst described it this way: "When Larry Bird speaks, basketball listens. The league can't ignore this. They can't brush it off. They have to respond, because the fans already have." Whether the WNBA will actually create a new franchise for Clark is unclear. Such a move would require enormous logistical and financial planning. But even if it never happens, the idea has already struck a chord. It represents something fans have been yearning for, a league that puts its biggest star first, a league that isn't afraid to grow fast, a league that acts like it wants to win. And for Caitlin Clark, Bird's endorsement might be more valuable than any endorsement deal. It's a signal to the basketball world that she's not just hype, she's history in the making. And the greatest of all time just said so. Still, as Bird made clear, his motivation isn't just to protect Clark, it's to protect the game itself.
You have to consider the possibility that the Indiana Fever are in on the plot to destroy Caitlin Clark.
Basketball is at its best when the best players get to play without fear. That's how we grew the NBA. That's how we'll grow the WNBA. Let Caitlin be Caitlin. Let her fly. And don't clip her wings before she even takes off.
Caitlin Clark that they're mad about. Now they're pissed off because people are willing to pay up to see Caitlin Clark.
As the dust settles from his explosive comments, one thing is certain. The conversation around Caitlin Clark and the WNBA's future will never be the same. Not after Larry Bird just put the whole league on notice